Here we are continuing with our political institution, that is president. We know that those person who standing for the post of president, he has to get the majority of votes to win the election. We already discussed that the president has only a nominal power, and that means president is an only nominal executive of our country. When we read the Constitution of India, we know that the president has no power at all. That's whatever the powers are, nothing she can do alone. That means only the powers of the president is very nominal only. We know that all our major appointments and whatever the functions or whatever the major decisions in our country are under the name of our presidents. Our country, the major decisions, major policies, and major appointments are done in the name of our president. And major appointments of our country, that is the chief justice and judges, major judges, and election commissioner. Then other appointments like the ambassadors of other countries, all international treaties, major laws of our country, all this are issued under the name of our president, but she has only a nominal power. That is, the president of India is a supreme commander of defense forces of India. We should remember one thing, that is all the powers are exercised by the president is only nominal. This only exercise only according to the advice of the council of ministers. The president can ask the parliament to reconsider any kind of advice given by the parliament, or any decision taken by the parliament. In the case of law, we know that the parliament pass a bill, then only it become bill. When the president of India have to sign, then only the bill become the law. In the case of passing or existing or creating a new law, before the step is that the parliament discuss all the bill and then it passed into the president for the sign. After getting the sign of the president, then this become law. So in the president can ask the parliament to reconsider or to make any changes in the bill, but the parliament do not make any changes and again pass into the president's sign. The president has no voice. He have bound to sign the bill and then it become law. Here we discuss all the decisions, all things are done in the name of president, but the real power is vested in the hands of prime minister. But she is also can do, in some other case she can do his own voice on his own power. In the case of appointment of prime minister, those party who get the majority of votes in the election in Lok Sabha, he can appoint the person, the prime minister, according to his wish. And if no party or any coalition party do not get any clear cut majority to form a government, in this case the president can appoint those person who have get muster or who get majority votes in election. For this, he give him a particular period to contest election and to win majority support. That means the president can appoint if no party or no coalition form of government do not get majority votes in Lok Sabha. In this case, the president can appoint a person and he felt that or he feel that the person who gets clear cut majority in Lok Sabha. So he can appoint that person as a prime minister of the country. And the last political institution of our country is the judiciary. Judiciary is an independent and powerful organ or institution, not organ or institutions in a democratic form of government or democratic form of country, and it is one of the essential part of this. All the courts at a different level of the states is a combined together, we called it is a judicial system. And in India we have integrated judicial system. That means the Supreme Court controls all the courts of the country. That means Supreme Court at a national level and the High Court at state level. That's the Supreme Court is in the head of the high courts, and the Supreme Court control all over the judicial functions of our country. And so we have our judicial system is called, it's an integrated one, and our country one Supreme Court, and each state have their own high court and local court, and we have district court and local level municipal court. All these are. Supreme Court can hear the disputes between the citizen of the country and between the citizen and government of the country, and if any disputes between the central government or the union government and the state government of the country, and it also hear the disputes between the two or more state governments. These related to these issues or these problem have these one, the Supreme Court take the decision. The Supreme Court can hear or appeal the cases between or any criminal cases or any civil cases, and it also can hear or can go to appeal of the high courts. And we know that the judiciary is considered as to be a independent organ or independent institutions of our government, and independent means it is not under the control of legislature or under the control of executive, and no party or any government cannot influence the judiciary. And the judiciary, the judges and the chief justice, they are take decision according to their own action, and they do not, any political party or any government cannot influence the decision of the Supreme Court judges or any high court judges. And we know that the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President with the advice of the Prime Minister and with the consultation of the Chief Justice. The senior judges of the Supreme Court select the new judges of the Supreme Court or the High Court, and those persons who are in a senior most judge in Supreme Court who became the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And the Chief Justice of Supreme Court cannot remove easily, and he can only remove by the process of impeachment motion, and both the President and the judges are removed only through the process of impeachment motion. Impeachment motion means the 2/3 majority is required in two houses, that's it, two houses of parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then only we have to remove the judges, and it will never happen in the history of India. The judiciary in India also have the most powerful in the world, and the Supreme Court and the High Court have only the power to change any constitutional amendments or any law that passed by the executive and the legislature. And when any laws are against or any amendments that are against the constitution, the judiciary can change it, and this can be known as the judicial review. Here the last portion, that is the judiciary. We are concluding with this topic, and judiciary is considered to be the guardian of the fundamental rights of Indian citizen. And we know that if any violation happen in the fundamental rights of the citizen, he can directly move to the court, or he can directly approach the court for any violation of the fundamental rights, and without approaching the police station or police. And in recent years, the courts have passed several directions and several judgments regarding the public interest and protecting human rights. And if in case or any situation the government take any action against the public interest, we have to approach our court for the violation of the public interest. This is known as public interest litigation. I am repeating, the court passed several judgments or regarding protection of the human rights. If government take any action violating the public interest, and we can directly approach our court, and this is known as public interest litigation. That means it is an action taken by the Supreme Court.